If you could do one thing that would change your life and better your health, what would it be? My name is Dr. Joel Feeman, and today I'm going to be sharing with you something that I absolutely love and one of the things that I'm most passionate about in life. And it has to do with your nervous system, it has to do with your endocrine system, and so we're going to be talking about your neuroendocrine system here today. And if you recall, in the past videos, I asked the question, do you want to be healthy? And that's that question that I had mentioned that oftentimes patients will kind of give me a funny look when you ask that, because the question almost seemed like it's an obvious question, like of course I want to be healthy. But the question that would follow that then comes down to, well then what is health? You say you want to be healthy, but what is health? What is that to you? And most people, sadly, because our culture is not a culture that understands a whole lot about health, we have more doctors and nurses and more hospitals, we take more medications, and there's an onslaught of other things related to, quote, healthcare. But the reality is that there's more people with heart disease and cancer and diabetes and all these other things. And so our consciousness as far as health is concerned, in my opinion, is not something that's obviously working too well for us. And I'm just taking an observation. You can look at statistics, you can look at research, but the reality is despite the fact that we like to say, I know what health is, if you're not living a life to where you are truly healthy, not just feeling great, but the full expression of life, physically, mentally, and spiritually, then perhaps your health is not at its absolute best. And that's what I want to share with you about today. I want to talk about health. I want to talk about what is health. I want to talk about if you're looking for long-term, sustainable weight loss and improved health, to have a clear, concise understanding of what health is, how to get there, and then how to stay there, not just for you, but for you and your entire family, the people that you love the most in your life. So simply put, your nervous system, as you know, the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves, controls every organ, cell, tissue, and function within your body. So knowing that the nervous system controls all function, then in order to be truly healthy, physically speaking, and expressing life at a high level, your nervous system must be able to communicate and give life innately to every organ, cell, and tissue, and to be able to regulate and mend and repair and heal, and to be able to do so in a way that, although we don't have to consciously think about it, the nervous system is all times communicating from the brain down to the body, basically finding out what's going on in the body and then being able to send a message back up from the body up to the brain, so the brain then knows how it has to continually adapt and change and mend and heal and repair and do all that it's designed to do, literally tens of thousands of functions every single moment of our lives. But to say that we want health, but not have a clear understanding of what health is or how to get there and how to stay there, the chances of not just reaching it, but maintaining that are not too high. It's not too likely. In other words, think of it like this. I can say that I want to bake a pie, but if I sit on the couch, I never look up a recipe, I never go buy ingredients, I never look into how to actually bake a pie, what's the likelihood that I'm going to end up with a pie sitting right behind me? You know it just as well as I do, it's not going to happen. The same thing holds true when it comes to health. We can cross our fingers and hope to have great health. And maybe we are compared to somebody else in terms of having less symptoms. But the reality is that oftentimes we lose track of the potential that we have, and we tend to think that because we feel a certain way that we're healthy, but the question comes down to, are you truly healthy? Am I truly healthy? How do we know if we're healthy? You see, you were created to be healthy. You have this amazing potential to be a true expression of life where you can enjoy every moment of your life looking good, feeling good, and thriving in every area. One of the biggest mistakes that I feel people make in their life is the fact that they think that healthcare has a starting and a stopping place. And so we treat our bodies oftentimes in society to where we think, well, because today I feel good, I don't have to do anything. You know, obviously what I'm doing must be working. But then once we end up with a symptom, a condition, or a pain, and it may just be a pain, or maybe it's heart disease or cancer or something like that, then what happens is we tend to take care of ourselves only when that symptom is there, only when we feel a certain way, and then once we go back to feeling normal again, where that pain or symptom goes away, then we usually will go back in our society to that old way of thinking and believing and living, to where nothing's wrong, there's nothing else that can be done to improve my life and health. And that's as far from the truth as you could possibly think. Listen, we all want to be healthy, But the way your body was created, your nervous system, remember, controls everything inside of you. And in your nervous system, there's 3 types of nerves. There are nerves that make you feel, nerves that make you heal, and then also nerves that make you move. Now, what's interesting and kind of shocking to most people is that those feeling nerves, although that's how most people in society base their health and what they do and when they do something for their health, those feeling nerves only, according to science, represent about 6% of all the nerves in your entire body. But what that also means is that 94% of the nerves of your body have no ability to ever give you a message of how you feel. Now, that would make sense then as to why most people who suffer and are sick and are dying prematurely have conditions known as silent killers. Because you can have pinching pressure, irritation, interference to your nervous system. Your brain, your body is not communicating at its absolute best, and you're never going to know that based off how you feel until, generally speaking, the condition or the disease, if you will, is in the end stages. So you have to keep in mind that your nervous system controls everything. Every organ, every cell, every tissue, every function, everything inside of your body. So in order to be truly healthy, to function and heal at your absolute best, then your nervous system and your communication between the brain and the body has to be at an optimal level. You always have to remember, we're not talking about short-term success and just moments of feeling good. We're talking about long-term sustainable health and life to where you're thriving and expressing life, where you feel good about who you are, mentally speaking, emotionally, that your health is just vibrant in all aspects. And so when it comes to how your body works, your body is going to communicate, of course, through your nervous system. But your body also not only uses neurotransmitters, but additionally it uses hormones. This is where the endocrine system comes in. Your nervous system controls everything. That includes every organ that makes up the endocrine system. So whether it be hormone production, metabolism, growth and development, sexual function, sleep, mood, there's so many different aspects of how hormones affect the body. So your nervous system and your endocrine system have to be able to continually communicate in order for your body to produce the hormones necessary and how your body responds to those hormones in order to have optimal function and optimal healing. So think about this once again. Let me paint you a picture. Let's say you or somebody you know works hard every day, Monday through Friday. You're sitting at a desk, you're hacking away, you're saving you're solving all the world's problems. But as you're sitting at the computer, maybe your head's thrusted forward, you're rounding your shoulders, your mid-back. What happens then is, let's just say the nerves that control your thyroid or maybe your adrenals or your pancreas have interference. This may go on day after day for sometimes years, and you never know that through those repetitious cycles and movements and things that we do because we're creatures of habit, that these nerves become interfered with in a way that the thyroid or the adrenal glands or your pancreas, just to name a few, start to have interference and they're not expressing life, they're not functioning at the absolute best. Well, if your thyroid is not functioning at its best, is that going to affect your health? If your adrenals, if you're under constant stress and those adrenals become burnt out and fatigued, if you will, is that going to affect your health? What about your pancreas? If your mid-back's always bent over and those nerves are what control and give life to the pancreas to allow it to function, to heal, and to regulate blood sugar and all the things that the body does in its entity, in its entirety, are those organs and the malfunction of those organs, are they going to cause your body to not be at its absolute best? And the answer, of course, is absolutely. So you may not feel it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And you may not necessarily see the effects of that interference right away. But once again, that too is something as to why the diseases that affect the most people are called silent killers. Just because a symptom shows up at a certain time doesn't mean that's when the problem started. And likewise, just because the symptom goes away doesn't mean the problem's resolved. Here's the point. In order to have long-term, sustainable, and lasting results, we have to make sure that we're able to not just understand health, but to be able to do whatever it takes to be able to keep the body working at its absolute best, free of interference that inhibit the body from expressing life at that high measure and high level that we're created in God's image to be able to be an expression of. And as a chiropractor, this is what I do every single day. Some people mistakenly think that chiropractic is about cracking necks and backs to make back pains and headaches go away. And we've gotten that reputation because, simply put, we're the best at dealing with that. But chiropractic was never really designed for back pain or neck pain. Chiropractic is about optimizing the communication between your brain and your body to when interference is present within the nervous system, to specifically and scientifically find that interference and remove that interference to allow the brain and the body to communicate at its best. So not only can your endocrine system function optimally, but so that every organ, cell, and tissue within your body can function at a higher level. But if there's interference to the nervous system and that's not detected or addressed properly, then unfortunately what happens is those organs are not going to receive the life necessary. The brain and the body are not going to communicate at its best, which means, of course, your body is not going to be able to be as healthy as it's created to be. Listen, as you learn and apply these tricks and tips, as I mentioned before, you're positioning yourself in a way that not only can you be healthy, but you can enjoy life, you can look good, you can feel good about yourself. You can literally raise your family to where not just you, but your whole family, the people you love the most, can thrive and make the best of it. And who wouldn't want that? A family full of life, a family that's healthy, a family that understands what it takes to get there and to stay there, a family who's void of taking drugs and medications or visiting the hospital because their bodies are actually healing at the highest level possible to where their bodies are expressing life to a full measure. So health is a full expression, a function innately from inside out. And it's your nervous system that controls every aspect of health. Chiropractic is the most effective way at finding and removing interferences to let the body function and heal at its absolute best. I've said this many times, and you may be at the point where you're tired of hearing me repeat and say the same thing over and over, but it's truth. And it's important that you understand this truth. You are created to be healthy. The potential you have to be a full expression of life, to be able to enjoy life, and to be able to thrive in every aspect of your health, physically, mentally, spiritually, you have that potential. Why keep living at less than your best when you can take the necessary steps for better tomorrows? God bless.